Okay, YouTubers, this is it. I'm sorry, this is a bonus video because I'm listening to Pretendians right now on TikTok, and I'm gonna make this video. So, here's the thing, man. This is another reason why my weekend went to shit and it affected my performance for y'all tonight. And, it's not really an excuse because I own it, but, it's on my mind. I'm part native, I'm part black, I'm part white. Let's try that one more time. I'm part white. I'm part black. I'm part native. Let's try that one more time. I'm part black. I'm part white. I'm part native. I am 51 years old. I served in the United States Army, National Guard. Didn't serve the way I wanted to. Didn't get deployed. I don't lie about my service record. I'm not a hero. I'm not a role model. I am a human being who is entitled to make a few fucking mistakes. I also cuss a lot. I started my acting career way back in the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s at best. And I haven't been able to make it as an actor, mostly because racially I'm ambiguous and they don't really have roles for guys who are 5'3" and a half. Unless you already live in Hollywood. And as a mixed person, I began my movie career playing mixed people. I'm always mixed with either black or some Asian diaspora. So it's either going to be black and native or black and Asian, but there's always going to be black in there. And there's always going to be native or there's going to be Asian. And I'm willing to play whatever character that I'm going to get. I would love for Disney to see this video and let me play Red Wolf 1, 2, and 3. Before my face catches up with my age. There's no makeup, there's no filter. I'm too stupid to figure that shit out. If not, I would love to be able to play Jesse Blackcrow as long as we get the writers from Legion and I get a good acting coach so that I don't fuck this up. Because I have not professionally worked. I have only made my YouTube films, and the only one that you see so far is my Scarlet Spider fan film. And I'm gonna talk with David about seeing if we can make another one to continue on or whatever. I'll figure that shit out. We're gonna work on how that's gonna come into play since I just renewed my my downtown thing for whatever the hell it is I do downtown when I'm editing my stuff. I got into acting because it makes me happy. I didn't really get in it for the money, and I'm hoping that it takes off and that at 51, maybe by the time I'm 53, something will give. I also have 3 books in the work. My second book is going to be dropped before my first book because it was the shortest book. And it was the first one that I sent to Page Publishing. You could say this is like a job interview. But we're going to shift gears now. The Pretendians are a group of black people who claim that Native Americans are not the real Native Americans and that black people are. Yet, damn it. Sorry about that. They don't have,
Wake up and get soda.
Oh, come on. They don't have one iota of scientific evidence to prove that. And if they did, they wouldn't be on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. They would be knocking down the doors of Congress and the Educational Department and Smithsonian and all kinds of other things. So basically what this is a delay tactic so that the rest of black people do not get reparations because these idiots don't seem to understand that the people they follow, like Dan Calloway and Ice Cube, already got their money. And they're just going to help keep this shit going until you can't prove that you're an African descendant, and then when America decides to give money to the people who stayed black, they're going to get less money that they have to give to everybody. And it's a really good plan. So it is what it is. Now, the thing is, as a mixed person, I don't know if I even could qualify to get any reparations as a native, and I don't know if I could qualify to get any reparations as a black person. And because I'm mixed, they'll probably find a loophole that will allow me to get absolutely nothing. But I got into this Pretendian fight because I don't want my Native American heritage erased. and I don't want my Black American heritage erased, which the Pretendians are hell bent on doing. So, moving on from that, I've made a lot of Pretendian videos on YouTube going after the Pretendians that are coming out of Virginia because they're using Walter Plecker as their base for reclassification. Now, mind you, most of these Pretendians phenotypically look black, which for acting, I don't phenotypically look black, which is why I haven't been able to have a lot of success. Outside of the fact that I'm short, we're not going to know if I'm a good actor if no one gives me a shot. But at this point, I don't really give a flying fuck if I'm a good actor because I'm not trying to be a superstar. I just want to fucking be working. Sorry for swearing. And the thing with the Pretendians, as long as they exist, I am afraid to reconnect because as of lately, and thanks to TikTok, there has been some massive tribal disenrolling of actual full-blooded natives. They are disenrolling their family members. They're disenrolling the fact that these people are literally native by blood. They're more native than I am. I'm a mixed person. I admit that I am a mixed person. I am not a full-blooded Native American. And the Pretendians have pretty much ruined everything. If you are Afro-Indigenous, which means you're more native than me, because you have a direct parent that is a native and a direct parent that is black. I don't have that. I have indirect Afro-Indigeneity because I have a grandmother who's black and native, and I have a grandfather who was a quadroon or octoroon, which means he was very mixed and very white passing, and he died when I was 6. On my dad's side, I have a black grandfather. I met him before he died. A year before he died, I met him. I didn't get to know that much about him other than his name. My grandfather's wife, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother are native. How much native will always be questioned because I don't fucking know. But I do know that they're native, and I do know that they are connected to Charles City, which I can tell y'all here, but I can't say on TikTok due to the fact that there is a Pretendian following me on TikTok, and he took my Sasquatch story, but he didn't take my grandma story. He also took the canoe story and how to build a canoe. So there's a lot of things that I can discuss here that I can't discuss there because these Pretendians are just ruining it for everybody. And now with the fact that TikTok got a 75-day, we're 73 days in now, extension. But I just want to make movies, man. That's it. I just want to make movies because they make me happy. It don't matter what kind of movie it is. I just want to make movies. There are some things that I'm not willing to do in movies, and most of that would probably be sex scenes, but I just really want to make movies. There's a reason for that. First and foremost, I am a straight man, and I won't be able to focus if I have to have a sex scene with a very beautiful woman or a woman in general. There's a DC issue. I'll spell that for you. D-I-C-K control. C-O-N-T-R-O-L. Because I like boobs. I'm not going to be able to play with them and keep my best friend down there from waking the fuck up. And I don't want to make the woman feel awkward. And, to be honest, I'm going to be the one that's the most uncomfortable when it comes to it. And not because I'm single, it's just the fact that what man does not like playing with boobs? That's the bottom line there. But moving on. The Pretendians are at a all-time fight thing. And they are ruining lives as we speak. Which goes back to why I had mentioned the complete disenrollment of full-blooded natives. So what happens when I decide to go in and I get my paper of lineage and it's like, well, you may be native by blood, but we're disenrolling your ancestor. Even though she's buried on native ground, we're disenrolling her. If they didn't do that already. So, what do we do? How do we combat this shit when the fucking Pretendians are all over social media? But this is the saving grace. And I'm going to end this video here. This is the saving grace. They don't have evidence. If they had evidence, they wouldn't be on Facebook. They wouldn't be on YouTube. They wouldn't be on Instagram. They wouldn't be on TikTok. They wouldn't be anywhere except for at the one place that could make the difference. Congress, Smithsonian, if they had a piece of dried, dehydrated poop from 150,000 years ago that they could connect to black people, they'd have their evidence. They don't have any evidence. They literally don't. And they use Native American stories and black stories and twist them up into making one story that's not the truth. And finally, for all of you pretendians out here trying to claim that Pocahontas was black, Pocahontas was not black. I'm in Virginia. I am in Charlottesville, Virginia. Jamestown is yay so many miles away from here. But we know for a fact that Pocahontas was not black. And we also know that if you are a child of Pocahontas, you are more white than anything else. And you might not want to hear that shit, but it's the fucking truth. Now, if you are a descendant of Pocahontas, you are not a direct descendant of Pocahontas. You may be a descendant of one of her siblings. That you can stake. But as far as you being a descendant of her directly, you would be a white person. Because there were no natives over in England, and there weren't that many black people, if any at all, in England when she was taken there and forced to become Rebecca. So yeah, you want to claim Pocahontas, you can claim Hiawatha, her father, you can claim any of his other children, but you won't claim Pocahontas because you're no way in hell kin to her if you're dark like me. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news for you, but that's the way it is. John Rolfe and her had a child or two. John Rolfe is white. England is loaded with white people. The only way you can be a descendant of Pocahontas is if you are a white person. I hate to be the person to tell y'all that, but it's the fucking truth. Because John Rolfe's son with Pocahontas or daughter, they never came back to the United States of America. They never came to America. And Wayne Newton, God bless him, has been fighting to get Pocahontas returned. And she has not been returned. And by now, there's probably nothing of her left to return. And they're not going to exhume her after all this time. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. And to you pretendians, I can only do that just in case this actually makes it somewhere. Anyway, your ancestors will remember you. And they will haunt you.